got was poison leaves. Now you're shaking like you was born.
Hello my friends, and welcome to another edition of Live with LavaSub. I'm LavaSub, or Weston, whichever you prefer. Today is an interesting episode. We're still doing suggestions, so I'm taking suggestions from the audience, mostly through my Instagram, having like a question that floats in through my stories every week. And I've gotten some interesting suggestions so far, from goblins to space pirates to fish ships flying through the space. A lot of interesting ones. But the one I actually just got from my partner this week, I had to jump into it because it's something that they do a lot, or were doing for quite a while. And honestly, something that I was really into for a long time, which is just basic photo editing. Usually, this would have just been done through like iPhoto when I was younger. I would do this a lot to the point where it was like I knew a lot of cool tricks. But at this point, it's not something I do that often anymore. But I figured it would be an interesting kind of way to maybe come up with some new, interesting, weird shit to reference and draw from. Kind of use living models, mostly actually just me, and kind of warp the perspective or the image and come up with something to draw from it. I'm going to be talking about some weird stuff. We have that writer's strike going, and we got to be strong for our comrades. Super proud of everyone I know on the picket lines. Really beautiful stuff happening, and hopefully the writers and the guild get what they want, get what they deserve. We're going to be talking a little bit about... I watched this... So, Tupac is a really interesting character, a really interesting figure in history, in culture, and yeah. I think we're going to talk a little bit about a video I watched this morning, and get you, kind of chop it up about that for a little bit. We're going to be talking about the Oscars, which is something that I don't like. But in relation to the Oscars, their diversity standards, which I think are appropriate. And talking about one of my favorite actors of all time, Richard Dreyfuss's most recent absolute dumbass comments on it. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're going to be roasting Richard Dreyfuss, talking about bass Tupac, and talking about the writer's strike, and probably getting into AI stuff, because it's me, and you know me better than this. Of course I'm going to turn this into an AI issue. One of these topics, it's a mystery for now, but it will. Some of you know. Those of you who know, you're the good ones out there. But we are... it does have... Honestly, it could be any of the three that I've just mentioned. Dreyfuss, Tupac, or the writer's strike. AI affects maybe all of them. We'll find out. Other than that, I'm stoked to be here. Thank you all for coming. We've got some music playing. I'm gonna get into some photo editing. Yep, that's my Twitter. So, this first one, I edited this photo to absolute dog shit, to the point where I was like, I can't post this. I'm too embarrassed to post it because it looks too heavily edited. It's like this whole, I don't want to be a narcissist thing. So, but, I think there's some interesting shapes in here. I keep seeing like a lobster, yeah, I think we could do a lot of interesting stuff with messing around with that. This was actually a reference I took last week before stream. I wasn't really happy with any of the references I actually took. I was gonna actually turn this into a goblin, but this was a pretty dynamic pose. I wish I had actually just erased everything in the background, so I'm just gonna do that real quick, because I don't want to be judged, okay? And my table over here is a mess right now. So, if you've been watching for any length of time, you know that before one of the streams in the last couple of weeks, one of my oldest and bestest, Zach, hit me up and was like, hey, so I have a package that's being sent to you. Keep your eyes peeled for that. So I did, and then like 5 minutes before stream, my partner is down at the mail, grabbing just like regular ass mail, and is like, hey, you got some stuff downstairs that I need you to help me carry up. It's too heavy to do by myself. So I run downstairs right before stream and pick up these 3 or 4 big ass boxes. I open them up and it's all fucking Magic cards. And I love Magic, and I have an obsessive, unhealthy relationship with organizing them. So that is what all of that mess is me organizing this huge collection of Magic cards that Zach sent me. Trying to figure out what I'm doing with them from there. Some of them I could probably sell, but you know, it's one of those things where if you're not doing like, if you're not really getting everything you possibly can out of it, it's not really worth doing. It's a pain in the ass process. There we go. I'm gonna just start messing around with this thing. Is everyone else that way? Yeah. I gotta tell you, it's pretty interesting. I do also feel weird about basically only drawing myself, but there's like an ethical concern there. I don't want to just like take photos off the internet of people who don't consent to me drawing them, right? Like that's a weird thing to do. I also don't want to I don't want to not ask some of the people whose photos I do have like already, you know, I took them. I took photos of them, but it feels weird to just draw that. So I want to make sure I'm like getting like consent there, making sure that everybody's comfortable with me, you know, having an audience look at their face or their you know, while I draw them, their whole image. So aw, thanks, Sam. Sam, notoriously not online, offers their image. No, honestly, I'm roasting you a little bit, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. So we might get some drawings of Sam coming up in one of these coming streams, because now I've got Sam's permission to use their image. And that'll be fun. Yeah, that would be fun. You know, I'm not seeing anything other than like a person here, but I think there's something there that we can exploit. Like, I like the pose. The pose is interesting, but what if we made it really fucked up, right? Like that's, yeah, what if bone game but pose? Exactly. Like I think, like getting a Zod being warped and into another dimension in Superman 2 over here. Or is that Superman 3? I've never actually seen anything but the first Superman movie with Richard, I keep wanting to say Keanu Reeves, but that's certainly not his name. Christopher Reeves. You know, the closest... Hey, I mean, old Superman is still a thing. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the... Did you ever read any of the Kingdom Come comics? So... Same, I wasn't necessarily super well versed in DC stuff until I met... Well, one of my friends recommended a few DC books to me. They were a big Batman and I think Lantern fan. And so I picked up a couple books, mostly Kevin Smith Batmans. You know, it's a legacy character that I thought was worth checking out, but I was just never really that compelled. But then someone suggested Kingdom Come. I picked it up at a, you know, I just started looking through it. It's a Alex Ross collaboration with, I can't remember who, but just a really, I mean, it's Alex Ross, and it's like one of the few instances where the internals look as good as the covers. And yeah, it's a really beautiful book that kind of tells this story, like, I don't know, 50, 80 years into the DC Universe's future, where, you know, they've, got so many super powered people that they're starting to, act in more and more irresponsible ways for the, especially like in regards to human life. That there was this big disaster, sort of like Civil War starts out. And in fact, it's not too dissimilar from Civil War necessarily. But the enforcement of it is pretty like aggressive, and I think basically what happens is Superman and Batman and a handful, like basically the Justice League assembles years after having disbanded and all of them retired, to take down these kind of like upstart, superpowered vigilantes that have been doing a lot of like killing, reckless superheroing. And yeah, it's an interesting book, and it's just really beautiful. I could care less about what it's about. It looks so good that it doesn't necessarily really matter that much to me. That's not what we want. This has a very interesting way of basically just duplicating small sections of what you want and moving it places. So that's fun. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. There's a few that have a similar effect, but a lot of them are much more smeary. I wonder if I messed with this and now it's giving me trouble, because it usually pulls a lot cleaner.
Looming figure helping
Okay.
man escorts you to the surveillance van. Take you for the ride or take you for the fool. We needed no disguise in a world so cruel. The grainy signal meets your loving stare as we strap you into your velvet chair. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness, I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen.
Let's try my favorite smear tool. Oh, she hits different. Yeah, we're moving into everything everywhere all at once territory with this. Thank you. We do try. Oh, that's horrible. Okay. I love it. Still too big? Come on. There we go. Oh, that's gross. Okay. Oh man. Alright, as much as I love this, I'm gonna have to change it. Because we can't do the foreground first with these kinds of things. I guess I could dupe it. But this is the path that makes more work happen. Oh, you can't really do the background either. Do I have to separate this image? I think I'm gonna have to separate this image from all of its pieces, or how I would do them anyway. So, we've got our dupe layer down already, and it's hidden, so we're just going to erase pretty loosely, honestly, around the hand. I'm going to change the background so I can see what I'm doing. This doesn't have to be perfect, like, no gaps, no leftovers around the hand. It just has to be enough to get the job done. I don't know why that's bothering me, but I had to do it. Probably could have done both hands on one layer, but that's okay. Okay, so hand. Gonna have to dupe this again. Let's do everything but the head. Oh, right. I left the hand in there. But no, okay. This layer. Oh. Didn't really think about how fun it would be with just these two. But maybe we'll go back there later. Let's do Another duplicate layer. You're not wrong. Let's do... This is actually going to be have to be a little bit more crafty. So now we're just doing body. Do I erase the hair? No. Facial hair can hang out, become part of the texture. So there's not really, a point to it, in my estimation. We need one more, huh? Okay, damn. Everything but this backhand now. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Okay, now that we have these all separated, actually, I want to go back to the transform tool and see what we can do with them. Oh, glitched out. So this is just hand. No, I'm gonna stretch it too. No, that's gonna come later. Okay. So let's go back to our smear tool. I think it's at a decent size. We're just gonna repeat the thing we did earlier. I don't like the way the thumb goes. This is like some witch's shit. No, that's not right. That's better. Oh, I just got an idea. Pretty sure I can really screw with this with the selection tool. Actually hide that hand layer. Let's go just around. I like that. Let's try it again. Oh, right, okay, so I actually have to go all the way around the area I want to drag it to. Use the other tool, see if that gives us some better results. That's really interesting. Wait. Why is it doing it like that? That's so crazy. That's horrendous. Okay. Let's just try and do this the old-fashioned way. Going offline, that is so weird. It refuses to be straight. Interesting. Terrifying. Okay. Good to know. Well, I'm not having great luck with that one, I guess. Let's try the wash brush. I don't use this one for this purpose very often. But I don't know that it won't work. No, that actually... That's interesting. I don't know how to feel about this. Okay, well that's not working for me. So let's try the transform tool. Let's see what happens when we make this all wiggity woo. Wiggity wah. That's right, I was going to talk a little bit. So, Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss is one of my favorite actors of all time. Oddly, I'm not a big fan of Jaws, but if you've never seen the movie Inserts, it's one of my favorite movies ever. It's one of Dreyfuss's first, as well as a bunch of other indie darlings like Bob Hoskins and oh, I'm blanking on her name, but she's like one of my favorite actors ever. Sorry, I have to look this up or I would be doing myself and all of you an injustice. Jessica Harper, who, you know, has been in so many really interesting independent movies that it's odd. It's like almost all of her career was just doing these one-off independent movies that, you know, we were never going to see anything like it again. Suspiria, Phantom of the Paradise, the sequel to Rocky Horror Shock Treatment, and then Inserts. Incredible actor, with not like a crazy amount of credits, but all of them are interesting. She's always had a really interesting career. But anyway, so Inserts, blah blah blah. However, Richard Dreyfuss has been famous since the 60s. And as a result, I think suffering from something many artists suffer from when they are decades, or sometimes even just years, or sometimes even just months removed from being a real person and having to live a real person's life and not being a celebrity. Which is, he has absolute dog shit takes. I can't say takes, because all I really know of his takes recently are about the Oscars, which I said we were going to get into as well. Well, the Oscars have recently put in place some new regulations for their Best Picture nominations. Things that are allowed to be nominated from here on are going to be specifically have like some requirements that they have to meet for diversity and inclusion. So, Richard Dreyfuss basically was very plain when he spoke and said, let me not misquote him, saying that these requirements make me vomit, quote unquote. He was interviewed, and when this topic came up, he spoke about a further quote. It's an art. No one should be telling me as an artist that I have to give the latest, most current idea of what morality is. What are we risking? Are we really risking hurting people's feelings? You can't legislate that. You have to let life be life. I'm sorry, I don't think there is a minority or majority in the country that has to be catered to like that. Dreyfuss continued with the defense of Laurence Olivier playing Othello in blackface. We could continue. He continues talking and being wrong and bad at being a person. But we can quit there. It does. But it also, he has a case of being a celebrity who doesn't have to live in this reality. And I think that is a big issue for many people who have reached that level in their careers as artists, is they cease to actually be artists. They kind of just become entertainers, become celebrities, and it doesn't help their work. When is the last time you saw something with Dreyfuss in it that you were excited to see Dreyfuss in it? Bet it wasn't recently. And I love Richard Dreyfuss. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and it's not like he's not working. Dude still works. But yeah, it's just, what is he contributing? And not only just what is he contributing, like, as a laborer, as an artist, as an actor, I'm talking about, like, what is he contributing in regards to actual contributions to the arts. Because this is, his career at this point reads much like just somebody who just needs to keep doing the thing to maintain the lifestyle, or maintain the not even lifestyle, but like the illusion, that they are still a working actor, because he obviously does work, but I think there's a distinction to be made here, that if you stop understanding, if you stop being and understanding and knowing people, a community, the people around you, if you stop not just creating for them, but allowing their perspectives to influence yours, to feed off of each other, to work with each other, to know each other, if you become isolated and insulated in your own bubble, especially one of such incredible privilege and wealth and ability to just, in this case, just have a job whenever you really want one, whether or not you need it. It definitely puts a different, it's impossible, in my opinion, to be connected to like the resonant truth of what we are all living and experiencing and where most of humanity exists. Celebrity culture, Met galas, big parties, getting clothes sent to you for free from designers, things like this. These aren't anything most of us are ever going to experience. It's delusional to think that we would. But that's not what an artist is. It's the furthest thing from being an artist. It's a disconnection from the lived experience of most of the people that you are creating for. And how are you supposed to portray us? How are you supposed to be us when that's your life? When you're so wealthy, you have such privilege and such ability, such connections, that it's damn near impossible for you to ever, you're never going to worry about rent again. You're never going to worry about who's, filing taxes, who in the household's, doing that work, who's mopping this week, You're never going to have that experience again. You're never going to know if you need to bring a coupon with you to the grocery store. These are inherently human things that most of us, have to live through and exist within. And without that, without continuing to live it, you're going to be out of touch with a great number of not just the changing of, in Dreyfus's words, the morals of the moment, or whatever, how did he put it? What the current idea of what morality is. Ugh. Yeah. How are you going to keep informed in that if you are living completely outside of the society which most of us exist within and live in your own little celebrity bubble? Well, you can't. Doesn't matter what art you participate in. I think in what's interesting in hip hop culture, there's so much more of a understanding of like where you were at when you first started and where you are now and how you write and how that changes, and like an understanding amongst the fans and people who are who love the music and are listening to it, watching these people grow and change, and understanding that it's art, regardless of whether or not they're, and the difference between them and the people who think that it is just them telling all of the stories of their life and what they do on a daily basis, which is, it's like believing pro wrestling is real. And in fact, a really great video essayist, everyone probably knows, FD Signifier, talks about the kayfabe of hip-hop in his Kanye West video, which is one of the best video essays I've ever seen. Honestly, that two-part definitely put a completely different perspective in my head on Kanye West than I had before, which, it's still not necessarily a very positive one, but it's one that's more informed. And everything that guy does is incredible. Just go check out FD Signifier's videos. So the kayfabe of art, and in this case of entertainers and celebrities. I guess the illusion, is I guess what I'm pointing to here. The illusion that they are capable of representing us. I think there's interesting examples that are either outliers or a great way to make a point. Zach Galifianakis is pretty well known. Not just like he's a celebrity, he's incredibly well known. He's a terribly talented artist and actor, and I think we all know Galifianakis. He's been working since the 90s. But I guess what I was trying to say was we know Galifianakis well, and like it's been, the discourse has happened often enough that we know that he tries to keep a low profile, tries to maintain connections to community and things like that. Like he's not trying to be the concept of celebrity. I think he's been quoted as saying it's like disgusting to him or something like that. I might be paraphrasing, but just that I think it's not a, like you see a lot of people who like look at it like it's they didn't, this whole I didn't ask for it thing, blah blah blah, I just wanted to be an artist, and they're Megan Fox or something. But I think that with artists like Zach Galifianakis who have made their bones, I think another great way of looking at this is like artists like Banksy and like other graffiti artists who in many cases will never necessarily see the financial support of the public despite being in many ways famous, and aren't necessarily looking to be a celebrity but known for their art, their work. I think that's a really beautiful way to distinguish that. But I think this whole with this whole diversity thing, I think it's a really interesting conversation to have, because diversity and inclusion, obviously we've seen more and more, is incredibly important, especially not even necessarily for us like adults. It is helpful, it is nice to see, but it's especially helpful for children who in many cases, like we're only starting to see like black people in Disney movies not be side characters, and there's still a lot of problems with how they're not like, none of this is a perfect representation, in many cases, it's performative at best. It's it's its own illusion of diversity and inclusion. But it is still helping, especially, as I said, younger people. But you also, I think one of the best cases for it is, I was thinking about like actors who are incredibly talented but are kind of known for their bad takes and stuff like that because of this whole Dreyfus thing. And I was like, James Woods is a great example, but he's always been kind of a douche. Who's an interesting example of this is like De Niro. De Niro isn't necessarily known for bad takes or anything like that. He seems like, he tries to stay out of the spotlight or the public eye or whatever. He never did a whole lot of interviews and things like that, like occasionally, but nothing crazy, and usually just on press junkets and tours and stuff like that for different bigger films he was in. But what we do see that is really interesting about De Niro's career is De Niro is one of the greatest actors of all time, period. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. I think it's a pretty common sentiment for people to think that De Niro is, in one of the probably top 5, top 10 greatest actors ever put on film. However, he's also the actor in Stardust who plays a gay space pirate or something. I can't really remember if they're in space, but I'm pretty sure they have a flying ship. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's some weird shit. Thank you, Sam. Harvest Lightning. But yeah, it doesn't. The point is that De Niro, older straight man, plays a gay character in this movie, and like, if you're one of the greatest actors of all time, and you still can't convince me that you are in a character and you are gay as that character, then maybe just straight people shouldn't do it. That's my argument, and I think it's pretty bulletproof. Because De Niro, genuinely, one of the greatest to ever do it. And no one believes that performance at Stardust. It's terrible. It's De Niro at his worst as an actor. Because you don't believe him, and it's not because it's silly and fun and campy, it's because he doesn't believe it. He was having fun. I'm not saying he wasn't having fun. There's a certain yes, but that's a layered character. Obviously you're going for camp in the character. The character is camp. The performer, the actor playing that character can't be visible in that. And I don't think De Niro goes away at any point. That's my perspective. Is that I don't think he plays gay in that movie. I think he plays like a straight actor playing a gay person as a stereotype, as a trope. And I don't think, like I said, he's one of the greatest of all time, so that's, measured as a criticism by all of the weight of that. But at the same time, you have to look at the man's career and see how he plays other silly characters in a very different way than he played that character. And I don't think in a way that is... Like, look at, what's that fucking movie? The Dick Tracy movie. Obviously, very different characters. Obviously. They are both still camp. De Niro's embracing it in Dick Tracy. De Niro is playing it up, I guess, in Stardust. I mean, Warren Beatty did direct Dick Tracy. He is well respected director and actor. But yeah, I think if you're Robert De Niro, you don't really I'm not gonna give you that break. That's me and my perspective. I think that I've seen enough bad movies with incredible performances that I feel like that's a true statement. You could also chalk it up to age. You could make any number of excuses you want for it, but I just think it means that straight people probably shouldn't play gay because it's not believable, because they don't know how to do that. In a very similar way, you wouldn't have white people playing black people in a movie, because it's unbelievable in many different ways in this case, and I think we should probably start thinking about it in similar ways where straight actors playing queer characters is concerned. It's maybe it's a hot take, but I don't think it's a bad take. I think there are no shortage of queer actors looking for work, desperate for work. I'm one of them, and I can tell you this is the truth. That especially if you are visibly gay, visibly queer. Not only is your work typically limited because of that fact, and in many cases you have a lot of people who stay in the closet as professional actors and artists because of how that affects not just perception of you by the public, but perception of you by the people who are going to hire you. So Yeah, no, I wouldn't argue with that at all. I think that, yeah, it has improved, but yeah, and in fact, I think I have given the pass to a handful of straight actors who played queer people. I think, honestly, Boys Don't Cry, that movie fucking crushes, and Hilary Swank is, like, a big part of why. Hilary's performance is incredible as a trans man. And I think that movie coming out when it did is kind of incredible, considering if we got that, that movie would probably do worse box office numbers if we made it today. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too cynical here. There are quite a bit more supporters of queer people, but there's also quite a bit more media, and it's a lot easier to take an independent movie and put it on to hinder its visibility in an algorithm than it was hiding that movie in small theaters in the late 80s or early 90s. I can't remember when it was made, but yeah. So yeah, I just think that of course it's moving in the direction of better representation, but yeah, it's this is my point is going back to Dreyfus and him talking about these diversity standards, and I doubt the Oscars are putting in any kind of like genuine like, it's the Oscars. I don't expect them to do this right. Are you kidding me? I haven't. Right. I think a lot of people who were just casual, like, fans of and enjoyers of entertainment and movies and music and all of that stuff, and don't really get past, like, you know, the surface level of it, or just like the movies or whatever, you know, have like a more casual relationship to it than we do. Aren't actors and writers and all that all those things. Aren't artists ourselves trying to work in those fields. We all obviously know that the Oscars are not the arbiter of good art. And in fact, they're typically really off on what is good and what isn't, in my estimation. I think, and like most media institutions in this country, it started leaning towards more progressive in recent years, but in the same way that the representation tends to be, it's a lot of time just for the good public relations that it grants you by taking those positions, and doing very little to help. And in fact, I think Disney is a really interesting study in this. Like, you look at how, I mean, I think there's a little bit more back and forth in the courts with Disney and DeSantis, but I don't think I think it's pretty damning if you look at how Disney actually put many of the Florida lawmakers banning queer people and trans people, trying to soft genocide them out of existence, into office in the first place. It's kind of, sure, it's maybe they view it company-wide as regrettable, but I don't think it's on a moral or ethical standpoint, but from a capital standpoint. Are you on mic? Okay, I just wanted to repeat. I wanted to repeat it for anyone listening. So how does a big company right a wrong? You know, it messes up. How does a big company like Disney make up for that and appear genuine? They can't. They're a company. That's the end of it. That's the end of my perspective on that. Is it's not really up to them. No, I don't think that we rehabilitate corporations. They aren't people. I think we can I think people can rehabilitate themselves. I think any person is capable of rehabilitation and changing their old ways. I mean, if we want to get into the nitty-gritty of all of the details of how that works, I mean, it's incredibly complicated. I don't think they really can, but if they were to, if theoretically we were to, I personally, because this is just, this is just my take, I don't believe that. There is maybe a possibility for them redeeming themselves, but it's not ever going to happen because it's not within. It would destroy them financially. They might not come back from it, but that's the only way to do it. In fact, dismantling half of them or making them public is the only way really through that, and that's simplifying. Obviously, I'm simplifying the hell out of that argument, but they're not. Our friends. They might make art that we like. They might make things that are entertaining that we sit down and watch for 2 or 3 hours sometimes. But, they're part of a larger system that is problematic. They're driven by the profit motive, and the profit motive is always going to have ethical complications, moral complications. In the case of Disney, you have maybe. I mean, that's in Disney's case. We're talking about the most powerful media empire of the last 100 years. Well, sorry, are you still not on mic? Oh shit, okay. Well, I'm trying to rephrase what or recap what you were saying. So you asserted that I'm concluding that there's no way for Disney to fix the 100 years of wrongs that they did, and I would just agree with that. There isn't really a way. I think that obviously there's a whole lot of people that are more forgiving than I am, but for me, no. I don't believe so. I think that financially, kind of going back into the annals of time and trying to right the fiscal wrongs they did many people, from paying fair taxes to not paying for and not lining government employee pockets to get them to produce legislation that they want, from the other legal battles that Disney has won so that media companies can continue being monopolies, so that they don't have to worry about that, because it's ultimately what the end goal of being Disney was being eventually the only name in the game. They've been fighting for this for 100 years. I think that, like I said, there's Disney. I've talked at no length, for no short amount of time about Disney properties that I really love. I talked for a long time about Sleeping Beauty and how it's one of my favorite movies ever. I've talked about Ivan Doral and Mary Blair, and I think what's interesting is that if we look back, not only, I think it's interesting because, yes, they've produced really beautiful things from their studios, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't incredible harm done as well. I mean, we talked about the legal battles and the media stuff, but as well as like the structural racism and sexism, homophobia that came into the company from an early era, from the very beginning, and didn't cease to be for quite a long time. We have just Disney as a figure, which the company is always trying to make seem like he's, you know, the George Washington of media or something. That's actually a really great analogy, because Washington is one of those people that we want to, that the nation is always trying to give the most positive spin on, when he was actually a pretty fucking awful douchebag. In the same case as Walt Disney, these are very flawed men from a long time ago, where being as fucking awful as they are was slightly more publicly, culturally accepted, but still everybody knew better. They were just allowed to do it because they were powerful and rich. And God, I mean, the anti-union stuff, I mean, God, there's so much shit that they've done to, like, real people. Like, so much structural, sociological harm that one company has done. And they're one of the better ones, if I'm being honest. Like, how do we rehab Exxon? That's a real question for us. How do you rehab fucking Exxon? You can't. And I don't think you would disagree with that. Aren't they? Why wouldn't Exxon fund art? True. Why would they? That would be a terrible idea. I definitely agree with that. I definitely think absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is Disney. The distinction to me is that Disney is a media company and Exxon is a oil company. I think, you know, one is certainly going to be more easy to be ethical than the other. What's fucked up is when the one that it's easier to be ethical chooses to not do that at all and be terrible, actually. Maybe that's why I'm so hard on Disney, because and many other media companies that decide that
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Doing the right thing is too hard.
On guitar, Whisk.
Because it's literally easier for them than any other company on the planet.
On drums tonight, it's Miles. And singing for us tonight is Troshawn Johnson. It's Moonsick.
And if I would be one of those people that would talk a bunch of shit on any company, period. But I don't think. But I'm not putting that on a person. I'm putting that on a company. And if a person within the company is trying to do these things and takes that personally, and they never really fucking cared anyway. They just wanted the brownie points, which, so technically, either way, the people saying they're only doing this for performance are correct. The only way that's not correct is if it's, 45 years from now and climate change is stopped and fucking trans people aren't being soft genocided by like 30 fucking states or whatever. I think that's a good timeline. 40 years. If for 40 years, one or a collective of people within a company turn that company's entire internal policies to be fucking basically an anarchist collective, then yeah, I'll forgive them, sure. But like, I mean, yeah. They would. Disney should just do it now. Is the thing. But no, I'm. You know what I was saying is like. Well, in like, I think it's a really interesting example because like, I'm saying that internally there could be people fighting for truth and justice and all that stuff, and I think that's super cool. Super happy for those people. Proud of them. Go you. But yeah, I mean, the company is still open to criticism. I don't think that. Yeah. I don't think that they get a pass for like any good deed that a person working for that company does. I think if yeah, especially with how often in big corporate structures like that, the person that gets credit publicly for it is somebody, who employed a bunch of people to actually do that work for them. I think it was really interesting a few months ago, or almost a year ago, I guess now, when Disney workers were on strike, especially queer Disney workers were on strike, because of the whole Disney and Florida legislature, when all of that discourse started taking off, that was by and large what a lot of the people, the picketers, the workers were saying, was like, we're frustrated because Disney wants to placate us and pretend that they're this queer accepting progressive company, but when you look at the dirt under the fingernails, it's a fucking nightmare. It's fucking nasty in there. You gotta get a toothbrush and some fucking hydrogen peroxide and shit. So it's, I don't think unfair to criticize a company that may have plenty of people working for it that want the best outcomes for the most people. Because those people should never take it personally, and I don't think often would take it personally, that people would criticize them for the clearly wrong things that they are doing. And I don't think that I don't think there is a logical endpoint to that until things have changed. And yeah, especially with big companies like Disney, like, that, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying, is that, well, because, like me, I'm an idiot, is the thing. And what they should, like, if they're not, and no, because we all know that there's definitely people that they hire out externally to come and give. I mean, every company has like HR people coming in from different levels of the private sector who do seminars on consent and on queer shit, all kinds of different like talks to big companies about how to make their workplace more inclusive, and such and so forth. We know that big media companies, they have people they hire in to be sensitivity readers, and help productions along to make sure that they aren't doing anything that could be seen as cruel or insensitive or offensive. Trying to make make sure that the work isn't ultimately this hundreds of hours for hundreds of people, their hard work isn't turning out to be some kind of dud because they had a racial blind spot and they accidentally did or said something that is incredibly offensive and potentially triggering for this racial or cultural group, so it's not like these companies, which are raking in money, biggest profits, in decades, even while the rest of the country is having the worst fucking time, dude. And especially people in the, especially us proletarians. We are having a fucking nightmare of a time. So it's absurd to think that if they really wanted to do the right thing, they wouldn't hire people specifically like what they do for their inclusion and their sensitivity external hires, to do something very similar with the CEOs and upper management, to teach them how to be a less profit-driven machine that is driving over the corpses of artists. I mean, not to mention, it's so I'm just saying that there is absolutely avenues for them to be everything that we're talking about, like giving them the kind of solutions that me, an idiot, could not give them to fix the problems that they have. But they just don't. They won't. And they're not going to. Not until, like, greater structural and societal change happens. That's just how I see that working out, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, corporations are going to change till society changes, and only so that they can continue making money. That's literally all they care about. It's literally what their job is, especially at the highest levels, where CEO's entire job is just making sure shareholders are happy. Board members and shit like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it, you know. Well, okay, I'm gonna take a quick break, but I will be back shortly.
Teeth are stuck again. I got the same cause in my head. Years, bootstraps spit up and they're eating shit in plastic gowns. I sink into a pit of lies and all my fears circle the drain. The grip is cold, my sins are hot. I take my demons for a walk, incinerate me like a moth. It all goes aflame, slow ride to ecocide. It all goes aflame.
Alrighty, we're back, and we're looking at the same weird shapes that I have been looking at for the last hour and a half. So let's move. Let's move it. Let's do something with this, huh? I'm talking to you, but obviously these questions are for me. So we tried a couple of different things. I think the last thing we were trying was transform tool. But you know what? I remember I'm not having fun with that. So I'm actually gonna use the select tool again and see if we can transform off of the select tool. Gotta get rid of this hand. Make work better. I think this works. Okay. Yeah, it works. Okay. Okay. It works. Oh god, it works. That is horrifying. And perfect. God, okay. Get that hand back in there. And what are we gonna do to this torso? Can we make this torso even weirder? Let's get rid of the hand. No, let's start with the other hand, the back hand here. Let's stretch this arm. No, all my goblins are physical art, so I don't tend to do stuff like this. The last one I did was a really long time ago, and it glitched so hard that I never could reopen the file. I think I have it somewhere on my... Oh, it's like in my Instagram stories archive. I think it's the only place it exists. But yeah, I've done these... I've done it a couple of times, but it's not something that I typically do. But most of my my weird, freaky looking weirdos are physical art, so those are just how my brain draws things. In digital, that's when I get to be like realistic, and I don't really get to do that in my physical art because it's not how my brain works at all. Oh, man. I got some long things. It's just... We're gonna start from the bottom. Now let's transform that. Let's see what we can get out of this. No, actually. Oh yeah. We love that for her. Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me specifically? Okay, let's use the select tool because evidently it wants to give a bubble to everything on the friggin' in the world. We don't need all that. We just need this little section. There we go. Oops. Now I'm too far out. Undo. There we go. Now we got our little bubble back. Go. No, that's not quite it. Back in there. Okay. Yeah, that's looking really awful. I'm somebody's sleep paralysis demon, that's for damn sure. This is awful. But that's what we're here for today, is for bad. Because when my partner said you should do some weird trippy photo edits, my brain thought, make the most horrible thing you've ever made in your entire life. And I pretty much got there. Not that way, this way. No, that's not quite it. Okay. Should have left that up. Oh. What if... What if it's fine, actually? Yeah. What should I... Yeah. I was like, I'm like sitting here debating with myself whether or not I want to draw on a fresh layer this image, or if I want to just smooth everything out, clean up all the lines like I did with the fingers and stuff. I don't know. I think I want to just do a fresh layer here. We'll just draw everything on top of this. I think I'll use black background. And we're just gonna go plain old. No, you know what? Let's not use regular white. Let's use a little bit off-white into the end of yellow. Okay, we're just gonna try and rough this in quick as I please. I'm gonna try and just hit it with one color. Just add in the white. See where we get from there. You know me, I will probably go back on this and start doing a bunch of fucking stupid detail I didn't need to. Why is my brain like this? Back in the day, there was, I watched a lot of WCW. It was my preferred wrestling outlet, because I was always cool. And, yeah. So, I remembered, it's not even that I remembered. I just will never be able to forget that there was a period in WCW where, there was these two wrestlers, one of them is actually still, at least last I checked, was still performing, Rey Mysterio Jr., the masked, luchador wrestler. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the thing about Mysterio is it's like a legacy thing, it's passed down. There's probably been, I'm pretty sure even then there was already a couple of Rey Mysterios before the one that was performing with WCW. Exactly. So, so I just remember there's a point where Rey Mysterio was wrestling with I think his tag team partner was K-Dog, and they had kind of started getting a lot of the the Latino dudes in the in WCW, kind of to almost form it was like an internal organization was the framing of the story with this whole thing. And they immediately started, so I think this was like a promotion with K-Dog trying to start his music career. Because at one point they put together a song and it was just K-Dog in character, rapping, and it just, and as a result of that, one of a handful, I think it was 3 or 4 older white wrestlers, it was they were the heels in this play, and their whole thing was really bad country, and that became, a part of the ongoing story of the WCW in that year. But why I was laughing was because the song that K-Dog did just occasionally gets into my head and I can't stop thinking it, and it just doesn't go away for hours sometimes. And that's what's happening as I'm drawing this, is I'm just bow wow wow, yippee-oh, yippee-yay. Literally, it's not even they're not breaking new ground with this stuff. This is a WCW wrestler's rap career. But yeah, that's why I was laughing, because I'm going insane thinking about K-Dog's hip-hop career. Yeah, I feel bad for all musicians because this just happens to us. Like it's a professional hazard, I think, for most musicians, is that bad songs, regardless of how much you hate them, will just sometimes be in your head and there's nothing you will ever be able to do about it. Who is Benny Benassi, by the way? Okay. The name sounded familiar, but I had no idea where I had heard it before. Who? Flow Rider. I thought you said Mariah Funny, and I was like, he does Mariah Carey covers weird? Okay. Oh, all good, all good. I just wanted to make sure I didn't hear that. Okay, fair enough. No, that's valid. I'm not a pop music fan, but Mariah Carey is goated as hell. I'm not a big pop music fan, but I am queer, so we love Mariah Carey. No, for sure. No, honestly, Mariah has some of my favorite hot takes in pop culture. I mean, she's just unhinged, and it's amazing. The Nick Cannon thing will always be a little bit weird, but, not that weird, frankly. Oh no, his mental decline. Okay, that's fair. I mean, yeah, I think when you're Nick Cannon, you don't have to always be right where your fashion's concerned, because you are Nick Cannon and you can basically get away with anything. I mean, if Nick Cannon's not been canceled for the children thing, not that he's been weird with, I mean, I don't know. But, the fact that he's got like 1,001 children now, most of with different people, that's not something that I really care about, frankly. Like, I don't know. Is it kind of weird? Yeah, absolutely. Not something I would participate in, breeding and all. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't sound like Nick Cannon can afford as many nannies as he needs to take care of his children, I guess. I don't know. I hope he's doing that. That's fair. I mean, yeah, Nick Cannon's an interesting character, and he's been working since forever. Wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he was on some, like, Nickelodeon shows when I was a kid. Yeah. Yeah. That's how I know Nick Cannon. What show was he on? I don't think it wasn't all that. Oh, this is gonna rip, actually. This is gonna be fucking insane. Oh my god, okay. Okay. Well, it was just the Nick Cannon show. He was? That's like late, all that, right? Okay. That was after it was over for me. I was like, this show's played out. It's over. I mean, no, yeah, I'm playing. I don't really know. I never had a all that has fallen off moment as a child. I'm being facetious, but yeah, definitely is. Yeah, not like I don't think I was watching at that point. It'd be an awesome take for me as a child. Oh, that's fallen off. Who's this Amanda Bynes lady? We don't want her. Wait, was Drake on all that? That would be insane. What is the connection? Was Dan Schneider Degrassi person? I knew he did all that because of all of the terrible crimes he's been accused of. Oh, that Drake. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other Drake. Okay. No, that does make more sense. I do remember Drake on all that, yeah. The later seasons. It's a slippery slope. For sure. I guess it's kind of funny because I wouldn't hang out with either of those fucking dudes. Interesting. Kind of terrible how many kids from that period are all like the worst now. I mean, I turned out okay. Fair enough. Burke, are you shitting me? What I wouldn't give for the amount of wealth I had attained as a child and status to pay for therapy now, that would be, I would take all of the abuse. It would be fine if I had those kinds of, that kind of means at this point. I was abused and all I got was this lousy proletarian life. So, I mean, I'm not trying to downplay what they went through. It was obviously historically fucked up what a lot of kids in the entertainment industry had to go through at that point in history. But yeah, it's fucked up, and people should probably pay for it, and there won't, and the cycles will just continue repeating. No, sure, yeah. At least some of them are getting theirs, and that's... Yeah, you would hope no pedophiles get to produce kids shows, but man, ain't it just the way? I mean, God, it's baked into the system. It's always been like that, and it's not necessarily like changed so much that I'm like, yeah, I mean, it hasn't changed enough, or like, yeah, period, that's it. See what this looks like now. That's pretty weird. Alright. Kinda love this, frankly. Oh God. Speaking of wizards, so Black Clover is an anime, and I like it. It's your typical like anime boys. I want to be the greatest XYZ, and they have a rival they grew up with. That's like, we love each other, but we hate each other, but we love each other, but we hate each other. It's pretty tropey, but it's like. It's surprisingly good, I guess, for that being in that format. Anyway, all this to say, I'm bringing this up because last night we were watching it, me and my partner, and we're like 70 episodes in, I think, at this point. So we've met basically all the characters they've introduced so far. Mike's seen them a bunch of times, and I may have forgotten about this character, or just hadn't come up in a while since we watched it last, because we just noticed they had finally got the second season on Hulu. I've been waiting for it forever. But there's this character named Rill, and Rill, I realized, is basically just Pip, like without the southern accent. But it was really exciting for me. I kind of had forgotten about this character. They're definitely like deep background character, but they have like a speaking role, and they're like, probably going to be important at some point, or maybe not important, but impactful in some way to the story. But Rill is, so the whole thing about Black Clover is it's like, it's basically like a wizard school. It's like a Harry Potter kind of vibe, but instead of like that, it's way more about like the school isn't a thing. They don't go to school. They're just like in groups, dorms. I don't know what you'd call it, but they all like get dispensed missions, and the one that is the most successful, gets certain accolades at XYZ. And so there's all these different groups of like younger mages that are trying to be like, one of the continue that, make it a career, essentially. And Real is one of these people who's like done really well. Their guild or whatever is like, he's the captain of it. But all of their magic is through paint. It's all like paint casting, and they're very much like this, like they are powerful, obviously, because they're like the captain of this team, but they're also like, they're talkative, they're entertaining, they've got a big personality, and I think that's, yeah, that, and they have this, spiky white hair, and yeah, all this like little details. I was like, I just was watching it. I was like, this is just Pip. This is my son in an anime. And that was nice. And I liked it. Yeah. I don't think I need to hype Black Clover up, but it is really good if you like animes. I'm just gonna merge these real quick. Take a little screenshot for later. And let's start another drawing here, huh? I kept talking about doing this one. It is very dark. So we're gonna have to use our imagination. But what if we did what we did on that other drawing and started sectioning it off, making it look buffed up? From the get. I think I have a better idea of what I want to do with it. Now it's just a matter of achieving that. Damn, that just looks like a... Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it, folks. Get fucking hype. Oh. You know, I was thinking like lobster or something like that, but I'm seeing something else in it now. Let's, hide this. No, wait. We don't want to hide it. What we want to do, change the background. Oh, that'll work. And then we're going to lower the opacity. We're going to turn the other one on. And we're going to erase on this layer. Want an eraser? We don't want to use that. Just here. Raise the opacity back up. And turn that layer back on. Yeah, that's really fucked up looking. Okay, let's do a couple preliminaries because I can see a few different things here. What do you see? Let me know in the chat. But I'm gonna start fucking this thing up. I'm actually gonna do this in kind of just like basic shapes. A little felt tip. So I was saying crop. I'm on a new layer, right? Yeah, okay. Too big. We got those little ice talkies. Oh, where do we? I didn't do that. kind of a lobster. Got the little corbels over there that I don't know what you call them on a lobster. On a lobster. Yeah. Perfect. Lobster. But then let's erase all that because I'm not going to keep it either way.
What do you want?
Keep that layer up.
What do
Not getting a new one. I guess I could have just deleted and made a new one, but
Why did you come?
it's wasteful. No, I'm kidding.
Who do you see?
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm almost seeing like something else in it. Like, I don't know, some kind of creature. Maybe Melodiva.
It's not for me, but you didn't come here for nothing, or even to see how it could have been.
It's the best joke Julia's ever draw feed. I love Melodiva. Merobiba is us. We are all Merobiba.
What makes you bleed? Could it be me? Could it be me?
Yeah, something like that. That's kind of what I'm seeing.
Into the sea.
No, not like that. You know what? This is what I want to do. I just figured it out. Because I'm like not satisfied with line work. And I know if I'm not satisfied with a basic line on it, I know that I better just get on it. Let's see. I mean, really, this is like 4 colors. And mostly black. So all we really have to do, I'm going to actually pick on it. Just use a soft brush to kind of blend in a little areas here and there. We're not going to try and be perfect. What is perfect after all? Don't let perfect... Yeah, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Isn't that like a thing people say or something? That's good. Done is better than perfect. This is anything like last week's drawing that I dropped. I'm still here, right? Okay. Last week I wanted to say I'm so sorry that I didn't notice that I wasn't streaming anymore for like almost an hour and a half or 2 hours after my service dropped or whatever the fuck happened, and I stopped streaming. That was as funny as it was. I still feel kind of bad, but I did keep going even after the 2 hours that we typically do the streams, and actually was working on it until like yesterday. And I'm pretty happy with the Space Pirate one. I didn't get too far on the fish boat thing. My brain is just not wanting to do it. Nope, I hate this. Let's get rid of all of that. Let's just delete it and start over. Let's see. What do I want? Alright, I know I want this.
He shakes my hand and takes my gun, and all my fears circle the drain. The grip is cold, my sins are hot. I take my demons for a walk. Blazing glory like the mob. It all goes away. Grease the slide to fratricide. It all goes away. Incinerating like the mob. It all goes away. Slow ride to ecocide. It all goes away.
I was crushing skulls just to get a little bit closer to you, and I knew what I had to do. Play your heartstrings through and through, and I might have won the battle, but I lost the war. And I got my blood and knuckles knocking on your door. Words on paper, words written down to keep you around.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Tonight we have a very special act for you. On guitar, Whisk Escobedo. On bass, we have that guy Casey. On drums tonight, it's Miles. And singing for us tonight is Troshawn Johnson. It's Moonsick.
Go back to my usual settings.
Looming figure, helping hand, escorts you to the surveillance van. Take you for the ride or take you for the fool. We needed no disguise in a world so cruel. The grainy signal meets your loving stare as we strap you into your velvet chair. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness final screaming. Looming figure, helping hand escorts you to the surveillance van. Take you for the ride or take you for the fool. We needed no disguise in a world so cruel. The grainy signal meets your loving stare as we strap you into your velvet chair. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness final screaming. Looming figure, helping hand escorts you to the surveillance van. Take you for the ride or take you for the fool. We needed no disguise in a world so cruel. The grainy signal meets your loving stare as we strap you into your velvet chair. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness final screaming. Looming figure, helping hand escorts you to the surveillance van. Take you for the ride or take you for the fool. We needed no disguise in a world so cruel. The grainy signal meets your loving stare as we strap you into your velvet chair. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness I believe. Glowing heart, beating screen, will to witness final screen.
Sorry. I'm just having a little issue. I guess the best thing to do would be desaturate it just a hair, so that it's a little bit more like coming together. Like it feels like that top layer is too on top of everything else. Then I'll balance it out. Thank you. Oops. I need to do it all with all of them. Let's see. Alright, this is the Abyss staring back at you. Alright, and I think, yeah, I still have one more reference that I was going to do. Oh, let's do a little screenshot for later. I know I am running out of layers at this point. You know, I can start deleting some reference. Delete all of the reference from that earlier drawing. And might as well get rid of that other drawing too. Like we just did. Now we've got a whole lot of layers that we can play with. This is an interesting reference. I actually have already used this for a drawing at this point. Not on stream though. And I just knew it was a good photo and that I could do some manipulation with it if I wanted to. Like, I like the composition of it. I think the lighting's nice. It allows for some fun times.
That was a fun ride. What? Let's settle for a little weird though. I want to get weird. Like that. Move this over just a bit still. Not quite dead center. That's okay. Okay. Alright, go on a journey with me. How about we go on a little journey?
Time.
now I can't even fuck around. Oh man. freehand. Doing the perfectionist thing. We don't need that for right now. I just want to pump this out. Pretty good. Oh man, if you are unawares, Gendy Tartakovsky, one of the greatest fucking artists of our time, creator of Dexter's Lab, and somebody who worked on all kinds of shows that I absolutely couldn't live without as a child, has a new show out. And I don't usually hype big artists like this because they don't usually need it, but I swear to God, if it doesn't take off, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. So everyone should go watch Tartakovsky's new project. Oh my God, it's like kind of a weird name. It's like Project Unicorn or something like that. Unicorn Warriors Eternal. Unicorn Warriors Eternal. It's super fucking cool. And yeah, I genuinely believe Tartakovsky is one of the artists of our time that hopefully future generations will look back and recognize how important their contributions to culture were. Because fucking Primal, Samurai Jack, fucking the Star Wars Clone Wars. I'm not exactly a big Hotel Transylvania fan. Symbionic Titan. I mean, these are some of the best cartoons. Dexter's Lab, I think, doesn't get enough credit for being as good as it actually is. Like, Dexter's Lab is surprisingly watchable at this point in history. You can go back and enjoy it and not have to go, oh man, that was a terrible joke. I can't believe they made that then. Can't believe jokes like that were okay. It's actually pretty wholesome and has like pretty good things to say about the world and stuff. Tartakovsky's got some great takes. We've been able to see through his work. The work of all the collaborators that work with him as well, of course. I know Unicorn Warriors Eternal is going to hit like a ton of bricks when it finally ramps up to what it's trying to do. Damn, okay. Well, we just need to erase some stuff then, 'cause that's driving me crazy. I don't want any of this up here. Okay. Get that back in there for composition. And let's forget all of this exists. Hit this reference color. What? Go from there. I'm actually gonna go underneath all the rest of the layers I've done so far. I'm gonna throw border in here. You know what? I want that to be perfectly straight. The first one was great, my god. Nailed it. Oh, do what I want. Pretty good. Okay. And you know what? It's too sharp. What if we just do it flat? I like flat. Flat works. Okay. Give ourselves a nice little flat horizon line. Now we're gonna hit that horizon line again to make it thicker. Then we're gonna hit that horizon line again to make it thicker. And then we're gonna hit that horizon line the opposite direction. Start drawing the eye where we want it. And then we're going to do that horizon line again because it got messed up. And we're flowing, baby. Eraser tool. We're just gonna hit that line one more time. Perfect. Oh, no. I'm gonna want the ruler so that it's actually where I want it. Whatever. You're being really finicky today, Mr. Ruler, and it's pissing me off. That's how we do it. Okay. Okay. Now, the fun part. Okay, I think we're gonna need a freshie on the top. Yeah, it needs to be on the top. Oh boy, I'm quickly running out of time here though. I'm gonna try and do this quickly. But you know me. Not something that usually goes in my vocabulary. Right underneath. Break in the sand layer. Underneath. What's happening? Why is it doing that? Oh, piss. I think I did the last break in the sand bit on my reference layer. Okay.
Yeah,
Thoughts on the reference? Oopie doopie. Did make a new layer. I just didn't use it. Woo! Trying to beat the clock, and my bladder over here. I'm gonna take a quick break. Just a second. Let's see what this looks like so far. It's not bad. Maybe you see where I'm going already. Let me know. I'll be right back in just a few.
Don't you know this is no good? Floating too tired style. It takes a while. You can pay more peaceful resting. Unaware, just because you know it's there. In this dark there is no sound. Don't you know this is no good? Floating lately I've been lonely and it's hard to admit that it's hard to be somebody without throwing a fit.
Hey, thank you for waiting. We're just jumping right back into it, because I know I've only got 20 minutes or so before we're finished here. Kind of trying to rough all this in. Probably end up going back into it later, but that's okay.
dare not name. So reach around, lover, take me by the hand. My lover has another. I don't want another man. I don't need to know the answer. I don't need to have a plan. I guess that I can eat my cancer. Same old story of the children who had never listened to their mother's cries. Same old lessons never learned, thrown away to decay in the dirt. Tear the tree out at the roots, count the rings to expose the truth. Count the tree rings, so you'll see why this world, it will never, ever agree. Count the tree rings that litter the ground. Now you know why the forests never make a sound. Count the tree rings so you'll understand why the earth, it could never sustain a man.
I can get out of here at the regular time. But thank you for the offer, Sam. I don't know. I don't. In the chat, let me know if you would like to see me go a little longer today. So yes, absolutely. Get a poll going.
Could never
Let's keep going. Layer on top of that. That rapid's going. There is, well, because I got to do outros and stuff like that, I'm going to say 5 minutes left in that poll. So if you want me to keep drawing, let me know in the next 5 minutes. Fair enough.
Sometimes I try too hard to break down these walls that surround me and keep me compound. I do not like the way these walls look at me. They refuse to stop staring, watching me bleed from my eyes and my chest, more specific my heart, like I was cut by the girl who finally got smart. Well, I'm just a lazy, damn dirty old dog who can't find a way to just get along. Well, someday these walls will descend upon me, and I'm sure you will find me in the rubble beneath. And some of a smiling, some stricken with grief, but somehow I know when I go it will be a relief.
Right. Well, I'm gonna close the polls here. Did we get anyone? Sam? Okay. Well, I appreciate you making the offer for me to go a little bit longer today, but I don't think it'll be necessary. I'm gonna probably finish this one off stream, because I am pretty into what is happening here. So, if you are, I will be posting the final, be in the thumbnail. It'll be on my Instagram. Feel free to follow me there, and check us out on YouTube for when that this episode drops there. Tell your friends about the VOD so they can watch it too. And yeah, that is gonna be about it for me. Let me get on camera and say goodbye. Okay. And that is going to be about it for us today, folks. Sam, when do we have that, Iron Hearts? Do you have a date for us yet? So Friday. Friday we're going to have our most recent episode of Ignore the Bird, Follow the River coming out on YouTube. Definitely check us out there. Zach and Adam and Sam have been working hard on that. We are in the... we're in post-production for the next season of Iron Hearts. The first episode will be coming out sometime in the next little bit. We've been hyping this up for the last couple of weeks because the first episode, or the first session, was one of the wildest sessions of D&D I've ever played in. Definitely, I don't want to spoil any of the secrets for you, because they're worth just seeing happen for the first time with no context. I'm really happy with it. Suffice it to say. Yeah, and if you haven't, if you have seen our previous season of Iron Hearts, you can tell we were still learning a lot about how to make this production look as good as possible, and Sam is really kicking it up a notch. We're going to be doing a little bit more animation, a little bit more integration with the story, and what you, the audience, are going to be able to see. So I'm really excited for you to see that. We will be recording our next episode very soon. I'm very excited about that. This Saturday, I'm going to be streaming again as well. We will probably be watching... I'm going back and forth. Should I do more YouTube reaction videos to like some of the dating stuff they have on there, which is absolutely wild, or should we take a break from dating and go watch some Kitchen Nightmares? Because I have been thinking about doing a Kitchen Nightmares episode for a couple of weeks, just because it's just such... It's a show I can talk about for literally ever, because it's such a... Yeah, it's just a show I could talk about forever. Gordon Ramsay is a very interesting character. And all of the people who apply to be on that show, I feel like... well, they're interesting people, too. I guess is a good way to put it. Other than that, I just want to say thank you to all of you for watching our future programs, and being here with me today while I do some doodles. This was an interesting one. We talked quite a bit about all kinds of weird politics and social dynamic stuff. I always love doing that. Yeah, I think other than that, I'm just happy that we're here and that you were here for this episode. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and good journeys.